again, I don't think these narratives, people calling your wife a gold digger and a whore and all these other things, it's a shitty thing. So I'm going to tell one story that I had never even told her. Honestly, she has no idea this story. My wife and I met in 2014. I was not making much money. I was getting $25 a night doing stand-up. I was on MTV shows that paid dog shit money. If she was a gold digger, I didn't even have 10 to get the bitch, to be honest. But then in 2018, I went flat fucking broke. 34 years old, I probably made $4,000 that entire year. And we couldn't even afford the living room we lived in New York City. We had to move out of that apartment and move to New Jersey. And what's even sadder than moving to New Jersey is I had to save up money to move to New Jersey. So we had to save on her friend's couch for almost a month. We were basically homeless for a month. So I could save money to move to New Jersey. And I remember the night before we went to the couch, we had to stay in our apartment illegally. We were supposed to have been out by like 12 p.m. We moved everything out, but we didn't have a place to stay, so we had to stay there that night. It was just me and her sleeping on a hardwood floor. I'm 34 years old. She's 25 years old. I'm looking at this girl like, man, you could go be with an Indian who's a doctor, like a real Indian. You're a beautiful girl. You have so much ahead of you. Me, I don't know what my life is going to be. I'm 34. I'm fucking broke. This dream might not ever happen, but I'm too fucking moronic to quit. And I have nothing to give her. It's just a light jacket. It's like October. We have nothing. So I hand her the jacket, and then she said, what's this for? I said, you can use that as a pillow. And then she goes, well, what are you going to use? And I said, I'll figure it out. She handed me back the jacket. She goes, you take this. And then she laid with her head on my chest and her arm around me the entire night. And I remember thinking in that moment, this is why I haven't shared this with her, because I remember thinking, I don't know if I'm going to be able to marry this girl because I'm so broke and I'm in such a bad place and it's a dark fucking time in my life. But I know I will never find a girl that loves me this much ever again. And I will never find a girl who rides for me this hard ever again.
So the audio leaked of Akash Singh on stage talking about the drama with his wife. So he's going with the narrative. People are calling my wife a gold digger. Then he tells some bullshit story of how she got with him when he was just some poor, broke, struggling comedian, which is 100% false. You have to understand something about the vast majority of stand-up comedians and the vast, vast, vast majority of the Rogan sphere stand-up comedians. These are just all rich kids. Nearly all of them. Not every single one of them, but nearly all of them. You kind of have to be. What other job can you do for a decade and make no money at? Who can do open mic gigs across the country for $20 unless you got mommy and daddy paying your bills? So he wasn't broke. The podcast was pretty much already successful at that point. Yeah, she didn't meet you when you were broke, dude. But that's what these rich kid comedians do. Like Whitney Cummings will be like, oh, I grew up poor. Your dad was an investment banker, and your sister, who's insane and does yoga and never had a real job, somehow lives in an amazing house in Los Angeles. Like Brendan Schaub's dad was a CEO of a .com that was sold for hundreds of millions in the 80s. Brian Callen's dad, of course, Segura, Burt Schultz. His mom is rich and his dad is rich. Like, they're all just little rich kids. So don't let this, we were poor and broken. We were on our friend's couch in Jersey. Their friend probably had an apartment in Jersey, and they were on a $500,000 couch or something. So this whole thing. But your wife herself kind of admitted to being a gold digger in her own TikTok video when she didn't want to be a consultant, then she met you, and now she doesn't have to work anymore. So he needs to drop the facade, and that's not the main problem. I mean, some people are accusing your wife of being a gold digger, but she's not that into you. You lied about her being a virgin, or you didn't know. She's humiliating you. You look like a joke, and you are holier than thou, trashing other people, talking about your relationship when your chick's not into you and she's only using you for money and she's destroying your career, so much so you have to address it on stage during one of your stand-up gigs, and you're ruining your stand-up. We have the reviews from people who were here. I made the video about it. They were like, whoa, that was weird and awkward. And the podcast, the thing that's the main moneymaker, because you're only selling tickets because of that podcast, that's in peril because your co-host can't address anything until you get there. And I'm pretty sure you're going to put limits on what they can say. You're going to be like, yeah, you can make fun of me, but don't make fun of her. Like, you should know there's a red flag when your chick is trying to get famous on her own and off of your fame. Your chick is trying to become a TikTok star. That is not a good sign. If your chick is trying to make it in show business or be an influencer, run, dude. You need to run. Because the second she gets any notoriety or makes it, she's going to dump your ass in 2 seconds. Keep her off to the side. Be like, no more podcasting for you. No more TikTok. I mean, what do you want? Why don't you go be a teacher or something? Work with blind kids, lepers or something. But, yeah, so this was just a bad look. I mean, he's on stage having to address this, and he sounds all sad about it, and he has to tell made-up stories. We were broke and struggling. I had no shoes. We had to walk 40 miles in shit and curry to get past India and make it to America, and she loved me then. Basically what he was saying, you weren't broke, you're a rich kid too, Akash. Like, Indian people don't just pop up in America. Obviously, your parents came over, they ran a Quickie Mart or were doctors or something, and you're their little Akash, and you got into stand-up, and you had mommy and daddy pay all your bills, so you never really had to make money, so you could just spend over a decade getting good at stand-up. I'm not saying Akash is bad at stand-up, but, you know, practice makes perfect, and when you get a decade to do it and not have to worry about making money, then you get better at it. You know, like Brad Pitt. Brad Pitt was quite literally one of the worst actors ever, but they just always put Brad Pitt in movies because he's Brad Pitt and people think he looks amazing. So eventually he gets better. I'll never say Brad Pitt's a great actor, but he's decent because he just has so much experience doing it. Most people quit stand-up because they realize, oh, I'm not going to make money to live. Well, I can't work a 9 to 5 and travel to Alabama to do a gig and make it back for my job. So I guess I can't do stand-up. But when you get your bills paid for, it's easy. So this whole it was broke thing, it's bullshit. You need to get your chicken line. You need to tell her to get in the kitchen and make some curry, damn it. I mean, it's just what you got to do. Because her being an influencer and a TikTok star, she's messing up your gig. But let me know your thoughts in the comments.